The Golden State Warriors lost last night to the Phoenix Suns, and it's a pretty meaningless game. The Warriors just beat the Nuggets Friday night in Oracle, and they showed that they're still the cream of the top in the Western Conference, right? Denver's number 2. I really believe by the end of the season, Denver will get passed by Houston as well. The point I'm trying to make is a lot of people were like, okay, this is probably a turning point for the Warriors. They've been playing some off and on basketball. In certain stretches when they're motivated, they look fantastic. And a lot of other stretches, not so much. I tell you this, as long as they got DeMarcus Cousins on the court, other teams will have a chance that they wouldn't have. All right, DeMarcus Cousins, just to me, as great as he is offensively, is a match. He just can't defend. He's never been a great defender, and definitely coming off an Achilles injury, his feet are just entirely too slow. I'm watching it. Getting back on defense, it's too slow. Too slow. Now, I think Houston will end up passing Denver, and I think the Rockets can give the Warriors a run for their money. And if you're watching the Warriors, I think that's the first time Phoenix won in like 19 games. Right? Like, you know, certain games the Warriors just didn't lose a couple years ago. Many are saying, are they unmotivated? Look, I believe this thing is coming to an end as currently constructed. I just believe it's ran its course. They're moving to a new arena. I'm watching Klay Thompson call out the fans, all that good stuff. I believe this thing is coming to an end. And I believe it's going to be courtesy of Kevin Durant. That's just what I believe. Something tells me there is something around that locker room that tells me, damn the regular season, we want to go all in for the postseason because it's our last run together. That big four. That's what I believe. Now, speaking of Kevin Durant, something happened to him in this game that could be big time in regards to Kevin Durant's future. Kevin Durant got injured. A little ankle contusion. He'll be fine. He'll be back in the next couple games. They might do the precaution methods just because playoffs are so close. They might sit him out for a game or two. They might. That's very well possible. And they might even sit him out for 4 or 5 games. He might come back next game. Who knows? I know he missed the remainder of that game. A loss to the Phoenix Suns, like I said earlier. And a lot of you are going to be like, that's a nothing injury, right? I wouldn't say it's a nothing injury. I think it could possibly be something, right? If you notice what's happened this year, Kevin Durant got banged up right there with that little ankle contusion. Hopefully he's fine. LeBron went down for a big stretch with that groin injury. If you think about what's happened with the landscape of the NBA, it's been front and center by probably the 2 best players in the NBA over the last decade. Kevin Durant and LeBron James. What have they done? Well, if you remember, after LeBron took his talent to South Beach and signed that 4-year deal with the Miami Heat, when he returned to Cleveland, he was doing either 2-and-1s or 1-and-1s. What do you mean by that? Meaning, I'll give you a year or 2 years, and then I got a player option on the next year, right? I want to remain. I want to give myself the option to become a free agent. You still need me. I'm top of the line talent. This ain't the NFL where you can go find another me. You need me. I bring in ratings. I'm a phenomenal talent, and I'm banking on my body. What do you mean by that? Meaning, what's the point of signing long-term deals, 4 or 5-year deals? It's financial stability. It's stability, meaning if I get hurt year 1, they're guaranteed to pay me for 4 more years no matter what happens, right? Supermax. You're trying to convince guys to stay long-term by offering them more money to stay in their hometown, more years. You can add an extra year on that deal. But what happens when players say, damn the extra money, damn the extra years, I'm more into my freedom, being able to play this year out, play the next 2 years out, and if something better comes along, I can go move around, right? Or maybe I want to stay and re-up under a new, under a new CBA or under a new salary cap, right, to get more money. And you got guys like LeBron and Kevin Durant leading the pack. LeBron did it first and Kevin Durant did it right after. They're leading that wave. It is literally the definition of banking on your body. Now, these guys take so great care of themselves. You got LeBron putting in reportedly over $1 million in a trainer a year. He's moved that trainer from Miami to Cleveland, now to LA, right? You put that type of money into your body. You put that type of money into your physical well-being. you can bet on yourself. You can say, you know, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll get through this season healthy. You know, my body's going to hold up, and I'll be, after this 1-year deal, after this 2-year deal, I'm going right back in free agency. I'm betting on my body to be, to hold up, and I'm not going to tear my Achilles. I'm not going to do something to my knee. So that way another team's not having like that leverage game. If LeBron tore his, let's say Kevin Durant tore his ACL tomorrow, and we don't want that. Knock on wood. Come on now. He tore his ACL tomorrow. He might be compelled to say, you know what? I'm going to opt in to that next year I got on my deal instead of becoming a free agent this year, right? I'm not going to test free agency this summer because a team can say, look, bruh, you're going to miss about a year. We ain't paying you the type of money that you could get. We're not offering you the amount of years. You know, whatever you want in your contract, you lose that leverage with an injury. Like Anthony Davis. When Anthony Davis has the opportunity to sign his next deal following the 2020 season, I believe he's going to sign long-term because he has an injury of getting he has a history of getting injured. Kyrie Irving, he's a free agent this summer. I believe it's most likely he wouldn't sign a deal anything shorter than 3-4 years. We've seen Paul George. He signed an unrecommended 4-year deal with the OKC Thunder. He could have signed a 3-year deal, but he came off a big injury that cost him a season before, and it took him another year to get his body together and become the player there, or maybe a year or two to become the player of, oh, he's just now getting to that MVP form. I would say maybe last year, maybe even this year to some people, right? He signed 4 years. I believe in the back of his mind, I believe you suffer an injury like that, you want some of that financial flexibility. You want some of that contract flexibility to know that no matter what happens to me or my body, next year you owe me $30 million. All right, that's really what it is. Everybody's not going to age. Everybody's not going to have the athleticism to bet on their body like a Russ, a KD, or LeBron have. Some guys are going to break down, a la Derrick Rose, right? So that is what's at stake here. And I'm noticing the fact that LeBron got injured. He missed 20 games pretty much with that groin injury. Kevin Durant, a little small ankle contusion, might be nothing. But we just got to wait and see if this injury lingers him throughout the playoffs. We'll just see. If it's something that becomes something that's in the back of Kevin Durant's mind, will that impact his next deal? Will he opt to give the next team, if it's New York, if it's the Los Angeles Clippers, if it's someone else, if he decides to stay in Golden State? KD's 30 now, right? He's right around there. Will this mean he'll give another team more years? Will he continue to bet on his body? Will he do another 1-year deal with a player option on the second, a 2-year deal with the player option on the third? I believe that's the one he's going to do if he decides to leave Golden State. I think he'll do a 2-year guaranteed and the player option on that 3rd year. That way, he'll be 33, 34. You've been to gave New York. I think he's going to New York. You've been to gave New York 3 years of your time. If it's worked out, fine. If it's have not, all right, let me move on and maybe go back to Oklahoma City if they haven't won a ring at that point. I'm looking at these injuries because that's really what it all comes down to. Like, LeBron gave up that flexibility with his Lakers deal. He signed 4 years straight up. I'm trusting in Magic Johnson to figure this thing out. I'm giving y'all 4 years. I'm not going to play the game that I played with Dan Gilbert because I trust the Los Angeles Lakers regime. Generally speaking, they've got it right with superstars. They've been able to put other stars around superstars and give this guy a chance to win a championship, right? I trust Magic Johnson, black man of the top of the organization. So we'll see what happens. I think it's very interesting, though, that Kevin Durant and LeBron both got injured, and they've been kind of the leaders of this player option on the 2nd or 3rd year. And we'll see if these little nagging injuries could be something that compels Kevin Durant to possibly sign a longer deal than maybe what he wants to. He might want to just sign a 1-year deal and give New York 1 year, maybe. If it works, fine. If not, I'm out. I'm out. I ain't got to do this. I'm a champion. 3-time champion, damn near. I might have 3 finals MVPs by time free agency. I ain't got to deal with this. Y'all suck, right? The media too much. I don't want to deal with this shit. Like, we will see. Just put a little tidbit, those little nagging injuries, see if it becomes a thing. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now, Mr.
Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV. Here with the triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.